guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Rebeka and this is my husband.
Werner.
I hope you can pronounce that.
Werner.
So today we're going to talk about how we met and how we got engaged. Came from a bad relationship that really took a lot on me, and it was hard to date, like to just open up for a guy at that point. And a friend of mine registered me on a dating site, and she told me it was fun way, easy way to meet people, and it was handy because I had a chat, and it was not that easy for me to be like going out all the time. And I met people there, I met guys there, and also outside. But at the point where I met Werner, I was not looking for a relationship. So I was in this relationship with a guy that I met online too, and we dated for I think a year and a half or something. And in the beginning, I really thought it was the guy. I really thought we were going to get married and all those things, but like he was processing his divorce and promised me that after the divorce we'd get married. And it didn't happen, and I was frustrated, and the relationship just from there it just went bad, and I had to let him go. And at that point I was also like, I didn't want to date anymore because I just had like not successful relationships so far. I wanted to switch my life, and I was telling God that the next guy I'll meet, I want to get married. I was tired of playing and all those things. But I wasn't meeting the right person. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to stop everything. And I was on the dating site, but it wasn't for a man or for looking for anything. I was just there and chatting, talking. Talking was good, actually, talking to people. You feel like less lonely. And it was good.
Anyway, so for me, it was simple. I was in the middle of a divorce. Not the middle. At that time, it was already 3 years. I did not do a lot. I didn't do anything. I didn't want anything. So I went to dating sites. Like, you can talk to people, you get some attention, you give some attention, and it's nice. You don't have to meet anybody.
Yeah, it stops there.
Yeah. There's no expectation. When you feel the expectations are coming, like, I want to come here and visit me. You just cut it out. I was the kind of guy that she's warning you about in the other videos.
Yes.
That was me. I really didn't want, but I told everybody in advance, I don't want anything.
We actually told each other when we met also that we weren't like looking for anything. It was nice talking. We could talk. I was in the dating site. I wasn't looking for a relation. He was in the dating site, the same, and he wasn't looking for a relation.
No, if I knew she would have come from the Netherlands, I would not have gone to look for her. But
it was after introduction. That is a dating site where you can meet a black woman. And for him, I think you thought that like I was black, but I was living in Africa.
I thought, okay, let me explain a bit more. Yeah. I went to Asian sites. I went to the Philippines, I went to China, I went to Taiwan, I think, and all the sites. Then I went to Colombia. In the end, I ended up with Africa, and I think, okay, now all those countries are far, far away, so I'm safe. Yeah, not really. I forgot that maybe some people from the Netherlands also registered on the site. I didn't think of that.
No.
So I went to Africa. It was like, I think, almost the last of the choices that I had from all the continents of the world.
Talking with other people when you were talking to me?
No. I already cancelled my account on the other site.
Oh, no, I mean in the same site where I was.
Yeah, yes, 2 other people.
I went to the sites. This is how I found him. Like, he had a verse on your statue.
Oh, yeah.
He had a verse, and it was intriguing for me because that was the first time I see something like that. I've been a while in the dating site. I've met Christian guys there, but I never met a guy who like wrote a verse on his profile. You know, when they talk about present yourself, presentation, description stuff. What was the verse again?
A verse about love. And we people don't know that. I want to have a bit commercial for Jesus. Anyway, no, I just want that. I did that because it represents the whole Bible in one verse. So I think, okay, this is, if you cannot agree with me, then I don't want to talk to you. So you feel
that's smart.
Yeah. So I put it, that was kind of my filter.
I am a Christian, and I thought it was weird because nobody ever did that. So I thought it was also interesting. It was not like I was looking for him to be some like my boyfriend or so. I just wanted to talk and to understand that. Why is he here? Why is he? I'm like, I thought he came to preach or something.
No, actually, I did a lot in that time. I did. Whenever I get a chance, I do that. Yes.
Yeah, so, and then from there we moved to Skype. And we will really chat, like really chat. When I'm talking about chatting, it was like
every day.
Every day.
From 8 till sometimes 5 in the morning, non-stop, never got bored.
Yeah.
Until this day,
we can really
that.
talk.
Yeah.
Where we really have that time.
If we don't want to kill each other, we have that. No, it's true. Yes, me too.
People fight, okay? We're not going to tell you that we have the perfect marriage or the perfect relationship. We also have our fights and things sometimes goes wrong. But when we are connected, we like, it's just like the time we used to date. We didn't even start dating at that point. We were just talking.
Yeah.
But we were talking a lot. Like, I always say, I'm going to work. Yeah, I'm on my way to work too. I'm going to shower to go to work. Like, those tiny little things.
All the time.
All the time, I'll go to work. Yes, I'm on my way to work. I'm on the tram. And then if something funny happened, we talk about it also, you know.
Never got bored.
It was not boring. Even when we came back and I'll be busy doing something, cooking, taking care of my child. Elias is awake. And we would talk till 5 o'clock in the morning. Like when I say 5 o'clock in the morning, like literally no break. What were we even talking about?
I have no clue. I really don't know. I don't understand how people can talk that long.
We were talking for more than 10 hours. Sometimes I just slept. I was tired.
It was nice.
That was nice because when I woke up, we actually woke up together because
we also did
at some point we were using the camera and
you
we were just still talking and then someone would pass out.
Yeah, you pass out most of the time.
I was tired. And then I wake up and he wake up. Like we wake up together on camera. That was really funny. That was really like I never talked to someone like that before.
Oh, that's true. That was like a lot of talking.
Yeah, I mean in real life, even in real life.
Yeah, we still do that.
Yeah. I mean I never talked to someone like that, if a guy like that, even in real life, like till morning, like talking, just talking.
Yep.
And then after that long talking for I don't know how long it was, we decided to meet.
That was a complete disaster. That really sucked. I had no idea.
I really had this expectation that the person I was talking to, I had that in my head, I had made an image of him. I had him on camera, but I hadn't made the image of him as a person, the whole thing.
Yeah, like Goliath and David. I was David, she was Goliath.
And the day we met, we supposed to go to a restaurant. That was the thing. We say we're gonna go to a restaurant in Rotterdam, and he was the one to arrange that.
I'm good at that normally.
Yeah, it does, but that's one he didn't do it good. Okay, I'm gonna be frank.
I did it perfect. The only thing is that restaurant sucks.
The restaurant didn't suck. You needed to make a reservation.
We came in there, we say, hi, Rebeka. Yeah, did they make a reservation? No. Why? Yeah, you need to do that 5 months in advance already. Hey?
That was a chic, fancy restaurant. You cannot just walk in there and tell them.
What the heck? Those people, who do they think they are? Huh?
They are a fancy restaurant.
Yeah, good for them. So that didn't work. So the mood was kind of changed.
Yeah, from there I wasn't in the mood anymore. Already in the beginning when we met.
Oh yeah.
I used to wear really high heels, like
the same 20, length as he have, 150, and then the same amount in heels is 3 meters.
Like 15 kind of years, and I was expecting the guy to lift up my standards.
I was way above that, but not physically.
Yeah, it was way above that, but physically. Actually, it was not even short. My heels were tall. Because if I remove my heels, I'm actually not taller than him, right?
Oh, you're shorter.
I am shorter. It's just that I had 2 long heels. But the fact that I was expecting him to be tall, just, switch my mood off. And when we went to that restaurant, it was just like, okay, this is not a good start. But I thought like,
Yeah.
we can, no, I was still thinking of the connection we had. So I was like, we can still save the day.
Yeah. I really was, for me, was really nice. When we went back to the car, and she was actually start looking for other restaurants. I think, yeah, that's nice. And then we found something that turned out to be another disaster. But the nice part, oh my God, it was so good. She
So we went to
chose
the-
a movie. But the movie comes after this. First we went to eat. That's also a whole story. Also
Yeah,
fun
that
when you
was
look back.
really.
In that
Yeah,
moment
fun.
it sucked.
Yeah, at that moment, it's
Afterward,
but after
it
we
was
had to laugh
funny.
about it because we went to a restaurant. We actually wanted
Greek.
to be in a quiet place and talk, you know. And then we went to that Greek restaurant. There was this guy playing, I don't know what piano. Or
No, it's Tatsiki. But I don't
no,
know.
the guy was playing the music. We couldn't hear each other.
That was the Greek.
Yeah, but what
the
kind of music he was playing?
The Greek folklore. Whatever.
Yeah, and we couldn't hear each other. So
And
we
he
were
was
sitting
drunk.
there, and he was drunk, and he was dancing, and even fell.
Three times, and the waitresses have to lift him up, and then he continued, and he fell again.
That was the disaster. After we ate, I was like, okay, let's get out of here. Let's maybe go watch a movie because
Oh,
it was
damn.
next to a restaurant.
Oh, and we came to the cinema. That cinema thing, the way to get there, they're all like you know, the iron racks. And in between there's spaces, so she has to be walked very carefully because the iron will go through. So she was like trying not to fall. And I was just looking at her and laughing myself.
My ear was stuck in the thing, and I was like, I almost fell, I think. And it was just embarrassing at that point.
It was very funny.
No, we first chose the movie.
Oh yeah, she chose the movie. So she chose the movie.
I chose it because I thought, oh, there are good actors there that I know, you know, famous actors. So I was like, it must be a good movie because, you know.
They probably sold their soul for this movie. So the first thing we saw, I don't know, we it started boring.
Yeah, it was really boring.
After 10 minutes, start to undress and doing each other very bad. And I was looking at her like, what the hell did you do?
I didn't know the movie. Seriously, I just picked it because I knew the actors and I was like, they were good actors. So I thought, okay, the movie must be fun.
Yeah, soft porn.
And it was just porn. Like the whole movie was just porn.
We did not see that. After 10
couldn't-
minutes, we left.
After that, I was let's go. Like, okay, because it was so awkward.
Ah,
It was really awkward. Like the first date, and then what you watch is porn, so it was really awkward. Anyway,
It was so annoying.
Yeah.
So we went, like, let's go to a little bar to sit
Yeah.
and talk. And then we go,
Yeah.
everything, but it was already 4. Everything started to close.
Yeah.
So some people left us in, but they were laughing at us like, look at those idiots. And we were just sitting like that.
We were sitting like, you know, that's the first time we ever talked. We never, like, that was the first time we didn't talk at all. We didn't. I was so annoyed.
And I was nervous. I think this woman, really, please take me away from me. I prefer to die at this point. I don't know what's going to happen.
I
don't
was
just want
really
to.
annoyed, and so at that point in the cafe, I mean in the bar, it was bar. I don't know what it was. I told you I want to go home.
Oh.
Please bring me home.
And in the end, if nothing is good, we stay together in the car.
Yeah,
We go stay somewhere quiet and we talk.
yeah.
Even that was not allowed
No,
for us.
it was already. It went too far bad for me. Like I was not there anymore. The only thing I want is just to go home
Me
and
too.
not to see this guy anymore.
Oh, that was that. Yeah.
So he brought me home, and that was really a really quiet ride. It
I
was
don't
really
remember
quiet.
that actually. I think
It
after
was
that,
quiet.
I
Nobody
blacked that
talked.
out. No.
No, I remember nobody talked. I just could not wait to go home. Thank God it was night and the traffic was fine. We drove really fast at home.
We went out, we said bye, we didn't talk, then the next day, we talk. You say, you know, I don't think this is gonna work. And I say, okay, bye. And someone called me, I don't know who, a number I didn't know. So I pick it, I say, hello, and then, I'm with Rebeka. And I don't know what happened, say, yeah, I've been thinking, and then quietness, and then, yeah, maybe we can stay friends and talk. I said, okay, whatever. It's
Yeah,
fine.
at my side, it was like I was calling someone else, and know those touchscreen phone. I don't know. I just pressed this number.
It's 20 years ago, huh?
No, 20, not 15.
15.
10.
No.
2013.
Oh yeah, 10.
10. Yeah, this 10 years ago. So, like, I didn't delete his number. I still had his number, but I wasn't calling him. I wasn't not calling him. And my phone I think I just pressed it wrong. I have that a lot. Even today, I still have that. And it called him, and then I heard him on the phone. I know his voice, so I was like, okay, I need to think really fast to say something. So I was like, maybe we can just be friends. Actually, our talking was really good. So maybe we can just keep talking. And yeah, he said yes, we can keep talking. And that was it. We started talking again, like normally, like we always used to talk. It didn't change, actually.
That didn't change. No, it didn't.
It did
but
not change.
I think the good thing was that we met. And it didn't change. So that meant that in spite of all the crap that happened.
Yeah, the connection was still there.
Yeah. So after that, she and her friend and me, we went out in Amsterdam.
Yeah, we decided to have a second date, and I thought, let me bring my friend, in case it goes wrong again. At least I have someone
to talk to.
But my friend was really, really nice.
Yeah, Florence is the best.
Yeah, she was really great. She's the one who registered me on the dating site at the beginning, and she went with me, and actually it went really, really good. At some point, I think she was also bored because we were doing fine.
Yeah, but Florence is really nice.
Yeah, she's just a great friend. We brought him, we have to drive to his place, and then we have to leave him there because he was living next to Amsterdam. We had to come all the way from Rotterdam, so it was just handy for him.
Oh yeah, that was how when you came to pick me. I went to train there, I think.
Yeah, we took you with the car, and then we drove, and then coming back we did the same. And yeah, after we get out the car, I was really bitching. My friend was there. And yeah, we wanted to kiss actually, but it was just that my friend was there. But we kissed. It was a good kiss. It was short, but it was good. It was good.
You want me to say it was good now?
Oh, it wasn't.
It was, otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here probably.
No, I mean the first kiss, not the.
That was good, actually.
Yeah, it was good. And after that, what's happened? Yeah, we just keep on dating. We were seeing each other every weekend. Yeah, mostly in the weekend. And we would do nice things together. Yeah, that's how we met.